Annyeong, it's Mikey here, and guys, want to apologize. The audio actually didn't get properly recorded when I first did this intro. Now I'm in my car because I'm actually gonna be driving out to Seattle. Now I'm meeting up with a friend of mine who's gonna be helping me do a little bit of testing. So this is a completely different video than what I've normally done. So it's going to be on testing out whether the Wooting is going to be a good comparative or an alternative to getting a hitbox for fighting games. Right? I personally have played a little bit of Tekken, but I'm nowhere good. I'm not good, and I need a friend that is really good. So let's get into this. And yeah, I mean, hopefully you guys will enjoy this video. I'm gonna, of course, give you a little bit of a montage in terms of, yeah, me driving out. We'll give a little bit of a, you know, behind the scenes of me driving, and then, of course, safely getting there. And then I actually have a recorded footage with my friend going over the things that he noticed on the Wooting, and we'll definitely do a full test and full comparative between the two. So let's cue the time lapse of my drive, and please make sure to like and subscribe as it really helps build this channel, and I really thank you guys for all the support. Now, for a lot of you guys who don't know, this is actually one of the border crossings from Vancouver to Seattle. So we're going to quickly, safely drive through, and it may look like a little bit fast, but don't worry, I wasn't going crazy fast on the highways or anything. Just a safe drive to Seattle, and it is a long drive because I did a day trip, guys. So I did a day trip, meaning I drove out in the morning, drove back at night, and it was about a 3.5 hour drive. So by this point, I actually had not eaten a single thing that day, so I was really hungry. So we're gonna quickly stop for some food, and luckily a nice ramen place. I got a really nice spicy Japanese ramen, and it was really good. But finally, I've arrived at my friend's place, and luckily safely arrived, not a problem, even though it was raining quite a bit. And hope you guys enjoyed that time lapse stop. And of course, we're gonna go into the actual recording. Sorry guys, that it's not gonna line up because the voice didn't record. So let's get into this. And sorry again, my recording for my voice wasn't actually properly recorded here, but actually I'm just asking my friend to introduce himself and give us a little background of his history with Tekken, and yeah, how he uses Hitbox and how he was a keyboard player before.
Started playing Tekken at Tekken 5 or so. At first I started playing on my PSP, which is why I'm used to the hitbox sort of layout controls and not used to playing on a keyboard. During Tekken 7, I was good enough to match up with several like semi-pros and professionals on ranked. Tekken 8 I don't play all that much, but I believe I'm Fujin right now. So that's kind of my Tekken history.
Sorry guys, again, my voice wasn't recorded properly on this one, but I'm just asking Han to please go over the footage from the practice with the hitbox, and then we'll do practice with the Wooting, and then actual gameplay.
Sure. So this I played on the hitbox primarily, and this is a just frame technique. So that means I have to press 3 buttons all together in 1/60th of a second, and it requires very high accuracy. It is very difficult to do, like even 5 times in a row consistently. So you can see the blue flame is the just frame move, and you can see that I did it about 4 times in a row before dropping it. And in later attempts, it is you can see by the amount of misinputs that the technique is not very easy to perform on a hitbox. It's not very easy to perform on anything actually, but the hitbox is the one I'm most familiar with. And you can see that I make mistakes even on the hitbox.
Okay, so this is an incredibly difficult move. How long does it usually take a person to learn to do this?
With a lot of dedication and a lot of time spent in practice mode, you could probably get this consistently about 3 times in a row. Um, if you practice for really hard for like a week or 2 weeks, depends on how familiar you are, or depends on your fine motor skills actually. But you can do it in practice, but it's really difficult to do it in a real match when the timing needs to be correct and you have a lot more on your mind because you're actually facing an opponent.
Okay, cool. So can you go a little bit more into, say, let's look at the Wooting comparative now, because you did a practice with the Wooting as well, and
Yep.
wondering how you felt with this one doing the same thing. My apologies again, guys. The sound from the gameplay also didn't actually come through. I had to actually make a lot of different changes during this whole recording just to make sure that I was getting everything, as my friend is quite busy, and yeah, I wasn't able to just like have everything going perfectly. But as you can see, I mean, he's doing really well with the Wooting. Now, I hope you guys can also see the image of the, like what he's using, keyboard or what it is, in the bottom right hand corner. Hopefully it's not blocking anything important. That's why I left it down that side. So that's why on the left you can actually see the inputs, and then you can also see how he is playing with the keyboard or hitbox, whichever he is using. And it's actually kind of interesting. He's playing it almost like he's playing like a piano with the keyboard, but I have to admit, like, it's quite interesting to see. I didn't ever play it like that way, but I guess that is the most accurate way to actually kind of get more accurate inputs in terms of using the keyboard.
Okay, so with the Wooting, I think I've had maybe like 10 or 20 minutes of practice when you first brought that keyboard to me. So this is like after 2 minutes of or 20 minutes of practice, and you can see that it's the blue sparks are you can see the blue sparks coming out of the technique like very frequently, and this is like 4 times in a row, 5 times, 6 times, only a few drops, and you can see on the left hand side of the window that well, you can't see it now, but you can see that the inputs are ridiculously clean. Like, to me, the Wooting felt like very responsive, like abnormally so, more than I'm used to. It felt like it was way more responsive and much easier to get clean inputs off of the Wooting than it is with my hitbox.
So when you say responsive, do you mean like it's faster?
It feels faster. I don't know how to describe it, but the it feels like it's more precise. It's more precise in how I want certain inputs to be. So I guess yeah, that's like responsive.
Okay. And you're saying the inputs were clean.
Yeah, the inputs are very clean. You can see on the left hand side that there are no dirty inputs. You can see like there's only one input like per frame or like per 3 frames. You don't get that sort of input with the hitbox unless you try really hard.
Okay. What about for like a regular keyboard? Because you have tried keyboards too.
Yeah, keyboards. Well, I tried playing Tekken on keyboard during Tekken 7, and I found that it wasn't very suitable for me. I didn't like it as much. So, but I do have experience with keyboards, and the thing is that because keyboards are so cramped, like the hand really feels cramped compared to a hitbox, where you can kind of stretch out your fingers. While any keyboard you can definitely play Tekken with, not all keyboards will give you this sort of clean input.
Okay, and what about feeling cramped? Does the Wooting feel cramped, just like because it's still a keyboard?
Yeah, the Wooting did sort of feel cramped, but it there was less hand strain while playing on the Wooting compared to just a regular keyboard because the Wooting feels more precise and it feels more responsive.
Oh, okay, okay, that's actually interesting. How about we had three different matches that we did, right? One was a keyboard, one was Hitbox, one was the
Yeah.
Wooting. Why don't we start off with the keyboard match that you did?
Okay.
Round one. Round two. Round
Okay.
two.
So this is the second round of the match that I played. You can see that I drop a combo here, even after the just input command, because I'm not used to playing on a keyboard.
Okay, so you had dropped a combo there. Now,
Yeah,
is this like the combo? Is it a difficult combo to normally do, or like on Hitbox would be easy?
it's a pretty, it's one of the more difficult combos on this character. Um, it, I wouldn't make that mistake on Hitbox because I'm used to it, but on a keyboard that I haven't played on for years now, I make that mistake because I'm not used to it, and also it doesn't feel as responsive. It doesn't feel as precise.
Okay, so let's take a look at the Hitbox match.
Get ready. Round one. Fight. Round two. Round. Round
Okay, well, this is a part of the third round of this match with the hitbox. And you can see that in a match, I managed to do the blue spark technique, the just frame technique, and I don't drop that combo this time. So I'm more used to the hitbox for sure, and I feel more comfortable in it, and I usually don't drop any combos.
Okay, and so this time, so we did one round or three rounds of one fight with the Hitbox.
Yeah.
You pulled off the combo, no issues, right? Out of all
Yeah.
three rounds, was it all three rounds was no problem or?
Yeah, because that's the one I've played on the longest, and um in the hitbox match, I didn't try to do like the just frame technique. I didn't try to spam it like I was trying to on the keyboard.
Okay, then
Yeah.
let's look at the Wooting one, right? And let's kind of deep dive into like how you felt actually using it in a full on match.
Fight. Round. Round one. Fight.
This is the first round of the match with the Wooting. And this match, I felt that it was really easy to do the just frame move whenever I needed to, as you saw in the first section. Actually, did the just frame move. This time I failed to do it. This time I did it, and this time I also do it and drop the combo. And also another time, and then I don't drop the combo this time, which is pretty significant because I managed to do the just frame technique like 3 or 4 times in one match when I needed to pressure the opponent with it. And when it did happen, I dropped one combo, and the other one I finished the combo. But it's only like my 30 minutes into using the Wooting as compared to years on the hitbox.
Okay. And yeah, I can see, like, in terms of your match though, you felt like the Wooting was perfect in terms of just not just the, you know, the difficult combo that you're trying to pull off, but say just regular, like, match, playing the match.
Yeah, it felt like my hands could be more nimble on it compared to the hitbox, where it uses low profile keyboard switches. So it takes a moment for the buttons to rebound up, whereas on the Wooting, I felt that the keys were more responsive, and thus my character's movement was more responsive, and it was more precise.
Okay. Do you want to go through a little bit more of the footage before more questions?
Sure.
Round.
If I should mention this or not.
What's this one?
The little backdash that baits the opponent.
Okay.
So so I'm on the right this time, and you can see that the opponent wants to hit me. I do a little backdash. So the movement is very good.
Okay.
It's easy to input movement commands like quickly when I need to for my character on the Wooting.
Okay. So movement super easy with the Wooting, and is that even compared to like the hitbox?
Yeah, I would say the Wooting, whenever I used it, it's hard to explain, but it felt quicker. Like the keys and the response felt like it was quicker on the Wooting than it was on my hitbox.
Okay. Okay. So is that all the footage that we were going through?
I think so.
Okay. So let's just go with the final questions of now debating of like using a hitbox, because I know hitbox is the preferred method that most people use, right? Right now, like in
Yeah,
terms of
most
fighting
people
games, like
start off. Yeah, yeah. Most people start off with a stick, like an arcade stick, and then if they don't like the arcade stick because it takes so long to get used to, if you're coming from like PC games primarily, people start looking for like the in between keyboards and an arcade stick, and that's the hitbox.
Yeah, because I know arcade stick. I've also used arcade stick, but
Mm-hmm.
I know that the arcade stick was definitely much more difficult to get used to, especially coming from a controller. And then first time going into keyboard for me was the Wooting. Now for yourself, you went from keyboard to hitbox, and I think most people look at the hitbox a lot. I think hitbox is a popular one, uh, as well as arcade stick. But from your thoughts, from using all three, comparing all three, keyboard, the hitbox, and the Wooting, uh, which one do you think was, I'd say, the best?
The best in terms of like responsiveness and precision, definitely the Wooting. Something like I can't explain it properly, but it felt very responsive. It felt very precise. And comparing like just using the Wooting for like 30 minutes compared to ears on the hitbox, being able to have that confidence to know that you'll be able to input a really difficult command inside a match when it matters. I think that's huge.
Okay, and then if you think, say, someone has a choice, like they're looking to buy, because a Wooting's not cheap, right? Wooting is like you're spending $200-300 on a Wooting, and how much are hitboxes usually or arcade sticks?
I think you can find a decent hitbox for like $100 or $200, so they're not cheap either. An arcade stick, if you get like a really good one, is around $200-300. If you like customize the buttons, if you need to try out like different sticks, like arcade sticks, then it's also much more expensive than that.
Okay, so do you think someone that's looking to, like play more competitively in, say, Tekken or like fighting games, would you say that it would be better for them to just buy a Wooting, or do you think they should just get like a keyboard and then just get themselves a hitbox separately?
I think if you are looking for a keyboard and you are also looking to get into fighting games, a Wooting is definitely not a bad choice. You could do much worse. um, if you absolutely wanted a hitbox, I think you should probably try out the Wooting first, and then if something else other than the performance isn't working out for you, like if your hands are big and you can't like press the buttons on the keyboard that well, or if you just need more space for your hands to like spread out, then I would say get a hitbox. But if you're just starting out, if you're just looking to get a new keyboard and you're also looking to get into fighting games, a Wooting will do great for you.
Okay, perfect. Thanks so much, Han. And yeah, I mean, thank you for again using all three, playing the matches, and glad to hear your opinion. Hopefully, this helps people that are considering what should they do. Like, should they stick with just a Wooting, or should they get themselves a hitbox? And it's good to see, if you have bigger hands and you're uncomfortable, a hitbox will be better. But if not, a Wooting does perfectly fine. And of course, I'll be sharing with everyone my settings of the gamepad control so that they can copy it and use it on their Wooting.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for having me, Mikey.
So now that we're done with the interview, I want to show you guys actually how to set up your Wooting, the gamepad settings, so that you can actually get this to work on your own Wooting, either 60 or the 80, up to you, because they both have the gamepad feature. This is how I set it up. So instead of using the D-pad for the arrows, I actually use the Joy-Con. So that's for me personally. You don't have to do the same thing. You can go with the D-pad if you like. I just found the Joy-Cons worked a little bit better for me and what I was looking for. Now, make sure you screenshot that earlier or pause the video because you're going to have to copy that into your Wooting. Let's also check the in-game Tekken, for example, how you should set it up. So this is how I set it up for Tekken. As you can see, with it's set to the Xbox controller. So make sure you copy both the Wooting, like have it both on different screens if you have two screens. let me just show you guys actual in-game of it, right? So we have the J, like I use IJKL for most of the main things, and then H, and then the colon, semicolon, and all these different. I have it all set up so that it goes the way that I want it to. So make sure you set it up on yours as well, and you can also make sure to test it as well. Like go into a practice range and test it, and you're gonna be able to see it. So this is me actually kind of trying to practice Reina. So I'm actually screwing it up really badly because I know the lightning, the yes, it's gonna be forward, down, angle, forward, and then right punch is actually the electric. Now see how I got that electric once or twice. So the goal is you want to make that perfect, right? You want to get that all the time. So with the Wooting, as you can see, I'm having a much easier time doing it. I used to play Tekken with the actual stick, so it's we're gonna stick fight pad, but you know, now I just use the Wooting. I actually find it much easier to do it with the Wooting. It's a lot more accurate, and actually the way that Han was using his hands on the keyboard for actually I tried that way instead, and I actually find it a lot more accurate. So just keep that in mind. Everyone should do it the most comfortable way for themselves, but I found out doing it that way actually makes it so much easier, and you can see how many times I'm getting the lightning off, and this is the first time I'm actually getting off this many times. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you again for supporting my channel, guys, and I hope this video helped you guys, especially those that were kind of considering what to do and you guys enjoy fighting games. Remember, this is the settings, and I also will put up the Wooting settings for you guys. Please go make sure to check out the other videos I got, and let me know down below comments, you know, things that you'd like to see on my channel, and I'll keep trying to do more things. So thank you again, guys, and I'll catch you guys next time.